Hello, this is Priscilla, and welcome to the Conversational Hour. I hope that you will enjoy our topic today, feedback, the breakfast of champions. Hello, Raymond. How are you today?
Fine, fine.
Great. Well, welcome and thank you for arriving to class on time. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. It seems that my classes now sometimes seem to fill up very quickly, and I may not have enough time to finish everything that I want us to do. So with that said, I am opening up the screen. Let me know when you can see feedback, the breakfast of champions.
Yes, yes. Now I can see. I can see.
Awesome, awesome. All right. This was actually written by one of my students. I hope that you will enjoy it and learn a lot as well. If you would, take a look at the title, tell me what you think the title might mean, and then we will discuss the article. What do you think? Feedback is a food of champions. What do you think that might mean?
I don't know. I don't know. We are going to talk about some specific kinds of food, especially um, healthy foods, for instance.
Okay.
I'm not sure about it, but I
Okay.
guess that's it.
That's a good enough guess, I suppose. Well, I look at it like this. I know what feedback is. Feedback is something that is given either to help me or to hurt me. There is a phrase that says feedback is free, therefore it is worthless. But
Mm-hmm.
in this case, feedback being the food of champions, I know that people who are good at what they do typically take care of their bodies. That means that they eat the right things, they perform the right activities, they associate with the right people, and that is what makes them the successful person that they are. So let's find out what this might mean for us. At this moment, I am going to ask you to start reading for me at Feedback Arrives.
Mm-hmm. Uh, just a sec. I'm gonna. Okay. It's because I was waiting the file to open. Feedback is the food for of champions.
Hmm.
Feedback arrives daily in a variety of flavors, colors, or textures, and in many cases the feedback is completely free. So, what does this have to do with eating breakfast? Or you might ask. Let me start with my remembrance of a story from my life, as if it were yesterday. Text exams were over my most challenging class of economics. I failed both physics and economics in the same day. My physics teacher, Mr. Gamma Ray, mentioned it for the approach his desk at the front of the room. As I approached Mr. Gamma Ray peered over the top of his rimmed gold-framed glasses and whispered in a very low monotone, "You are a stupid boy. That is what you are." With less than 3 months remaining to finish your secondary exam, Mr. Gamma Ray continued, "I am embarrassed to be known
To be
uh,
known, to be
to be
known.
known as your teacher."
Okay.
Okay? Can I keep
I want you to
reading?
continue reading. Yes,
Mhm.
please.
My intermediate thought of Mr. Gamma Ray was, I wonder why Mr. Gamma Ray would beat a man when he's down. I just wanted to curl up and die. The headmaster of the school also offered his 2 cents worth and said, "Young man, starting tomorrow, you will meet with me to do further study. I too, I am disgraced your performance. Your participation at this prestigious university cannot be abandoned. You must demonstrate that you can do much better, and as a result, I expected a huge improvement. Such a poor exam performance is a reflection of the school and the blemish on our philosophy. Excellence without excuse. I ran like a mad dog to my home. I was full of tears and animosity. This ridiculous was just what just what the doctor ordered. I found the missing passions to do what I need to compensate and overcome my challenges of such reluctance. Um, I was ready to hit the books. My mom said, Don't lose your head over this. Do what you need to do. It was if Mr. Grandma Ray and the headmaster, Mr. How can I pronounce this name?
Get it done.
Get it done was 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 the fight I needed to propel myself toward success. From that day forward, and just 3 days of studying with Mr. Jedidon, I had found the keys to my success. I was no longer asleep at the wheel. The final and last day for retake exams arrived. This was my chance to put my best foot forward. Not only performed well on the second opportunity to make the test that cost me an arm and a leg, I surpassed all other students with my score.
This is surpassed. Surpassed.
Surpassed. Thank you. I realized that feedback is the food of champions. I had taken the bull by the horns. Remarkably, I know I
I
now
know.
have a job. I now have a job with the university study buddy for those students with less than stellar performance in the scientific department. I
I
find
think
it
that's scientific. I think that's scientific.
scientific.
Hmm.
I finally realized what Mr. Geridon wanted me to learn. I could not continue to be a couch potato and be successful.
Okay.
Mm,
Thank you for reading that.
mhm,
This article was chock full of idioms. As I said,
mhm,
one of my students wrote it, and I introduced it to you guys as a part of a lesson. So you can see how once you understand how idioms are used, you can use them, and it makes the lesson a little more entertaining. There is the thing called a play on words. A play on words is Mr. Get It Done. Get It Done is Get It Done. And that's what the professor's name was. And this was the scientific department, and his professor's name was Mr. Gamma Ray. So those were plays on words for the story. I want to take a moment and welcome Jenna and Frisusa and David. Welcome back. How do you pronounce your name? Frisusa? Frisusa?
Just Fred.
Oh, Fred.
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 Souza is my surname.
Okay, and Fred is your.
Surname.
Okay. It has an extra E in terms of the way I would say it. So I see the word Freed. Okay, Fred, it's nice to meet you and welcome to our class.
Nice to meet you, Priscilla.
Okay, so I'm going to give you numbers now. David, I'm learning everybody, so I may not need the numbers anymore. David,
Yeah. Hi, Priscilla.
Fred, hello.
Hello.
Jenna,
Hello.
Fred, you are 2. Jenna, you are 3. David, you're
Okay.
1.
Yeah, thank you.
Julio, how are you? You're 4, Julio.
Hello, I'm 4.
Yes, you're 4. Raymond, you're 5.
okay.
And Wilson, hello Wilson, how are you?
Hi Priscilla, I'm fine and you?
Great, it's nice to meet you. I don't believe I had the pleasure to meet you, but I hope that you will enjoy today's session. All right, I'm going to open up again the same thing that Raymond was reading, and I'll put your numbers in if you would read when you see your number. 1, and there was a number here. 2. Remember what your numbers are. 3.
My 3.
3 is Jenna. 4. 5. 6. And we'll start again. 1, 2. All right. Number one.
Me.
What'd you read? Number 1.
Feedback is the food champions. Feedback arrives daily in a variety of flavors, color, or texture, and in many cases the feedback is completely free. So what does this have to do with eating free breakfast, you might ask? Let me start with my remembrance of a story from my life as if it were yesterday. The exams were over in my most challenging class of economics. I failed both physics and economics in the same day.
Okay. Do you have questions about what you read?
Uh, remembrance is remember, yeah?
That is correct. Remembrance is to remember. And
Uh,
when we use the word remembrance, we usually use the word remembrance when something has happened a long time ago, like in remembrance of my dad who has passed away.
remembers. Okay, got
Okay.
it. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Number 2, that would be Fred. Fred, please read. You'll need to unmute your microphone. Fred,
We'll
are you there?
start. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Okay, my physics teacher, Mr. Gamma Ray, mentioned for me to approach his desk at the
Motioned,
front.
motioned, motioned.
Mr. Gamma Ray motioned for me to approach his desk at the front of the room. As I approached, Mr. Gamma Ray peered over the top of his rimmed gold-framed glasses and whispered in a very low monotone, "You are a stupid boy, that is what you are." With less than 3 months
This word
remaining,
rimmed, it's just rimmed, not rimmed, rimmed, rimmed. Can you say rimmed?
Ramda,
Good. Continue.
with less than 3 months remaining to finish the secondary exam, Mr. Gamma Ray continued, "I'm embarrassed to be known as your teacher."
Great. Any questions about any word here? And this would be
Uh,
anyone. Anyone have questions?
my last mistake. What was the word?
Rimmed. It was,
Uh,
I think you had, you said rimmed. I can't really pronounce how you said it, but it's rimmed. And this known was because of,
okay. His rimmed gold frame glasses.
okay, it's just not so much of a, it's just
Okay,
rimmed. Okay?
with rimmed gold frame glasses. Okay.
Okay. And number 3, Jenna?
My immediate thought of Mr. Gamma Ray was, I wonder why Mr. Gamma Ray would be a man when he's down. I just wanted to curl up and die. The headmaster of the school also offered his 2 cents worth and said, "Young man, um, wait,
These are idioms. So it's just, these are idioms.
okay, um, young man, starting tomorrow, you will meet
Oh,
with me to do further study. I too am disgraced with your performance."
okay. These are idioms that I have made larger. Do you have questions about what you just read, Jenna?
Uh, I want to know what's the meaning for his 2 cents worth.
Okay. 2 cents worth, we typically say this is an idiom, first of all. His 2 cents worth is an idiom. What we generally say is, with 2 cents and $2 more, you can buy a cup of coffee. So that 2 cents isn't worth anything. It doesn't add, it doesn't make me feel better, it doesn't improve my grades, so he could have kept that to himself. The headmaster of the school also offered his 2 cents worth, so it wasn't worth having, but he added it anyway. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, number 4.
Your participation at this prestigious university cannot be abandoned. You must demonstrate that you can do much better, and as a result, I expect a huge improvement. Such a poor exam performance is a reflection of the school and a blemish on our philosophy. Excellence without excuses.
Okay, questions? Okay. Excellence without excuses means if you're doing the very best that you can, it may not be the best that someone else can do, but if you're doing the best that you can, then there should never be any excuses. Number 5.
Okay. I ran like a mad dog to my home. I was full of tears and animosity. This ridiculous was just what the doctor ordered.
This word is animosity.
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 Okay. I found the missing passion to do what I need to compensate and overcome my challenge of studying reluctance.
Okay. I would suggest to you that you slow down your rate of reading. When you get to a period, you come to a complete stop. I ran like a mad dog to my home. 1, 2, 3. I was full of tears and animosity. 1, 2, 3. Could you read that again for me? Number 5.
Okay. Just a sec. I ran like a mad dog to my home. I was full of tears and animosity. Animosity.
Animosity.
Animosity. This ridiculous was just what the doctor ordered. I found the missing patient to do what I need to compensate and overcome my challenge of study reluctance.
Okay, this word is needed. I didn't hear the ed, and I'm not sure what you said here, but it didn't sound like challenge. Can you say challenge?
Challenge.
Okay, great. These are idioms also. Just what the doctor ordered is an idiom. And ran like a mad dog is an idiom. Okay. Number 6. Number 6 is Wilson. Okay. Is Wilson here? I'll read number 6. I was ready to hit the books. My mom said, "Don't lose your head over this. Do what you need to do." It was if Mr. Gamma Ray and the headmaster, Mr. Get It Done, was the fire I needed to propel myself toward success. From that day forward, in just 3 days of studying with Mr. Get It Done, I had found the keys to my success. I was no longer asleep at the wheel. Asleep at the wheel is an idiom.
Sorry, Priscilla. I was
Yeah.
mute.
Oh, is that
May,
Wilson?
yeah, I was mute. May I read?
Yes, you may. Just a second. And don't lose your head over this is an idiom. And I think I said it, but I'm not sure. But if I didn't, I'll say it again. That a play on words, usually when you're using someone's name, it's a play on words. That's what that means. So Mr. Get It Done is one of the teachers or head people at the university. All right, Wilson, you may read now. Number 6.
Okay.
I was ready.
Okay. I was ready to hit the books. My mom said, "Don't lose your head over this. Do what you need to do." It was if Mr. Gamma Ray and the headmaster, Mr. Hetidon, was the fire I needed to propel myself toward success. From that day forward and just 3 days of studying with Mr. Hetidon,
Get it done.
get it done. Get it done. I had found the keys to my success. I was no longer asleep at the wheel.
Okay. Questions about anything that you just read, Wilson?
Hit the books. I suppose it's an idiom, yeah?
Yes, it is an idiom. Do you know what it means?
No.
Hit
No,
the
I
books
don't.
means that he needs to study. He needs to study. He was ready to study now.
Okay.
Hit the books means get ready to study. Okay. Number 1. David.
Yep. The final and last day for the exams arrived. This way my chance to put my best foot forward. I not only performed well on the second opportunity to take the test that cost me an arm and a leg, I surpassed all other students with my score.
All right. Questions, David, about what you just read?
I surpassed it,
Okay. Surpassed.
surpassed.
Surpassed. Have you ever seen cars racing, David?
Yeah,
And the one in the back or in the middle comes to the front and
yeah,
passes the lead car?
that is surpassed.
That is to be surpassed. So in this case, the young man that did not pass his test the first time, he surpassed all the other students with the score. So he scored very highly. Number two. Number two.
I realized that feedback is the food of champions. I had taken the bull by the horns. I had taken the bull by the horns. Remarkably, I know
Remarkably,
remarkably, I now have a job with the university as a study bud
buddy, and
for
this word is now. I now have,
I now have a job with the university as a study bud,
buddy, buddy,
buddy,
buddy,
buddy,
study
buddy,
buddy. Hmm.
study buddy for those students with less than
Stellar.
stellar performance in the scientific department. I finally realized what Mr. Gaddon wanted me to learn. I could not continue to be a couch potato and be successful.
Okay, good. Questions about what you read?
Feedback in the food of champions. What exactly it means?
Feedback is the food of champions. Feedback is what I'm giving everyone as they read. I make comments about what you're reading. I'll say that, for example, this word is buddy. I'm giving you feedback. This word is now. I'm giving you feedback.
Yes.
Champions are those people who are successful at what they do. Food is what you eat. And in this case, if you accept the feedback that I'm giving to you, this would represent the food that you will need to become a champion of being able to speak.
Okay, understand. And
Okay?
I had take the bull by the horns. It separate the bull from the horns.
Hmm. No, it's not separating the bull from his horns. It's just that if you've ever seen those people who are racing in the bull fights and things like that,
Yes.
and the bull is running behind them, and they're running and they're trying to stay ahead of the bull.
Yes.
Okay, actually, the bull is more in charge because no one is guiding that bull. To take the bull by the horn is to perhaps jump on the bull's back and take control of the situation. Make the bull do what you want it to do, not let the bull do what it wants to do. So in this case, he decided he would take the bull by the horn and stop allowing his indiscretion of going out to clubs, going on dates, doing everything but studying. So now he's decided to take the bulls by the horn, which means he's going to do what he needs to do and take charge of his life.
Okay, that's
Okay?
good.
And very quickly, I'm going to read the story. I want you to pay close attention to the pictures and make that association to what this story is saying for you. It may mean different things to other people. So try to understand what it means for you. Feedback arrives daily in a variety of flavors, colors, or textures, and in many cases, the feedback is completely free. So the word variety, if you look at this fruit up here, we see oranges, tomatoes, bananas, fish. We see whole lots of things. That is what is called a variety. If you don't understand something, please let me know. But that's what a variety is. It's a culmination of many things. I'm going to also use vocabulary that you should be building up on as well. Variety is a multitude. The word variety means multitude. So there's a multitude of things in this picture. Flavors, color, textures. Feedback is when someone is talking to you or someone is taking something from you, or feedback can be a grade that you receive from your teacher. And in many cases, feedback is free. That's why people don't particularly care for it. They didn't pay for it, they didn't ask for it, they don't want it. So what does this have to do with eating breakfast, you might ask? Let me start with my remembrance of a story from my life as if it were yesterday. As if it were yesterday means that it had to be some time ago. It wasn't like yesterday, but many yesterdays ago. Test exams were over in my most challenging class of economics. I failed both physics and economics in the same day. My physics teacher, Mr. Gamma Ray, if you have a teacher named Mr. Gamma Ray and he teaches you physics, that's a play on words most likely. He motioned for me to approach his desk at the front of the room. As I approached, Mr. Gamma Ray peered over the top of his rim gold frame glasses and whispered in a low monotone. He's peering over his glasses. He's looking over the glasses. He's not looking through the glasses, but he's peering over the top of the glasses. And he's saying in a monotone. A monotone is like, hello, do you know that you're stupid? You are not a smart boy. So this happens when if this young man says, I'm going to tell the officials that you call me stupid, the professor can say, never, never, never. I never called you stupid. Did anyone in this class hear me call you stupid? But we know he said in a monotone, you are a stupid boy. So that's what monotone is, meaning you barely can hear it. You are a stupid boy. That is what you are, with less than 3 months remaining to finish your secondary exams. Mr. Gamma Ray continued, I am embarrassed to be known as your teacher. My immediate thought of Mr. Gamma Ray was, I wonder why Mr. Gamma Ray would beat a man when he's down. I'm already feeling, this is an idiom, I'm feeling sad about not passing the exam. My friends are all graduating and I may not. And he's telling me that I'm stupid. I just wanted to curl up and die. When you want to curl up and die, which is an idiom, that means you are too embarrassed to do anything. You don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to do anything but just go away and not be found. The headmaster of the school also offered his 2 cents. When somebody offers you 2 cents, that's about what it's worth. How many of you, I don't expect you to answer, this is a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is one that I don't expect you to answer. How many of you can buy a lot with 2 cents in your country? I know 2 cents doesn't buy very much here, so it has very little value. Therefore, the headmaster had offered his 2 cents worth, and he said, young man, starting tomorrow, you will meet with me to do further study. I, too, am disgraced with your performance. Your participation at this prestigious university cannot be abandoned. Abandon means that we will not leave you alone. It is the university's responsibility to see that all the students graduate. For example, it is my responsibility, if you're in my class, to not abandon you. It is my responsibility to see that you get what you came to class for and help you in any way that I can. You must demonstrate that you can do much better, and as a result, I expect a huge improvement. Such a poor performance is a reflection of the school and a blemish on our philosophy, excellence without excuses. If you do the best that you can, that is excellence. I ran like a mad dog to my home. I was full of tears and animosity. This ridicule was just what the doctor ordered. So now that the professor has told me what he wanted me to know, and the headmaster has told me what he wanted to know, that's really what I needed to get going. I found the mission passion to do what I needed to compensate and overcome my challenge of study reluctance. So he's coming from behind, and he's going to pull all the way up to the front. I was ready to hit the books. My mama said, don't lose your head over this, which means don't do everything in one day. Just take your time. You can do it. Do what you need to do. It was as if Mr. Gamma Ray and the headmaster, Mr. Get It Done, was the fire I needed to propel myself towards success. From that day forward and just 3 days of studying with Mr. Get It Done, I had found the keys to success, and I was no longer asleep at the wheel. The final and last day for retake exams arrived. This was my chance to put my best foot forward. I not only performed well on the second opportunity to take the test that cost me an arm and a leg, I surpassed all other students in my school. Okay, so that is the story of Breakfast, the Food of Champions. Now tell me, what did you think of that story, or how did you understand that story? I would like to ask each of you to take 1 minute and tell me, what did you learn from that story? David, 1 minute or less. Unmute your microphone, David. Unmute your microphone, David, and tell us in 1 minute. Okay, we're not waiting for David. Fred, unmute you. Fred, take 1 minute and tell us what you learned from this story.
Yeah, this is a story of overcoming. Maybe not exactly one student, just a student passed the exams, and that's the feeling of he had felt.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Jenna, unmute your microphone and tell us what you think of this story. What did you get from this story?
So I think the most important thing about the article is about feedback, and basically professor just want to give the student some pressure that you only have this much time left and you have to really try your best, otherwise you're going to be fail, and this is not there's no excuse to fail in this excellent university, and you had to really try hard. And when he find a passion he's missing, then he try to do what he can, and it just proved professor's point, he can actually succeed, but he just didn't have the didn't have the I don't know, the push to do it. That's how I felt.
The motivation.
Yeah, motivation.
And Mr. Get It Done and Mr. Gamma Ray provided the fire he needed to do what he needed to do. Thank you. Raymond?
Okay. So personally, I believe in this story we can learn how important feedback could be for anyone. For instance, in Spanish, being so rude at the beginning, the feedback really helped the guy improve his abilities and in many aspects of his life, and it's probably he will keep doing the same thing from now.
Okay. And let's see who was next. Who is that in there? That is Wilson. Wilson?
Okay. I think that the most important thing is the feedback. I mean, to accept or to receive in a good way the opinion from the in that case the teachers, because if I am studying, for instance, English, and I am willing to accept your opinion, your feedback, in that case, I become a better student. The idea is to recognize or to accept your opinion, and don't think that I know everything. No, I think that people have to be willing to accept the opinion from the other people that are better in that way.
Okay, good. Does anyone else wish to add anything?
Nope.
All right. So we know that this was an article about feedback being the breakfast of champions. It was full of idioms. We had hit the books, run like a mad dog, 2 cents worth. We have the word variety, which means the same as multitude. We have, I'm looking for words that we are going to use in our topic discussion today. I'm going to use opinion. I'm going to use multitude. 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 And what were some other words in our story today? Remembrance. And remembrance.
Have you said
reflection.
animosity already?
I'm sorry? Animosity?
Animosity.
Okay. Animosity,
Compensate.
compensate. Thank you. Two more. Okay. Let me go back and look. Okay, reflection. I will use reflection and passion. Okay. I'm coming back to where you all are. And now, what I want you all to know is that when I give you these mini stories, there's usually a lot of vocabulary. There is always vocabulary. And when you hear these stories, you should be trying to find a way to bring the vocabulary from yesterday's lesson, the day before lesson, and this lesson all together so that it culminates into a rich vocabulary. When you have this rich vocabulary, you can go to any subject content and talk intelligently about it, because we are going to make up some more sentences today to reinforce what you've learned about this story. So as you tell your story, I hope that you know this story, Feedback, the Food of Champions, the Breakfast of Champion, well enough that if you can't think of something else, you can pull from this story. Today you're going to do something that is different than what you've done before, except for David. David, it has a different twist again today. Today you're going to use this story starter, which is the golden cat was trying to sleep. The three little bluebirds wanted to, for me, I'm going to say eat, but they could be wanting to do anything. Then you're going to use these words, Control C. You're going to use all of these words here in your story. Well, the ones down at the bottom. And you will talk for 1 minute only. The golden cat was trying to sleep. The three little bluebirds wanted to eat. They chose not to heed the feedback that was given to them by their mother, that if they continued to bother the cat, they would be eaten alive. There was a multitude of birds up in the trees looking at the three birds sitting on the fence. And this cat had such animosity for these nagging birds that the cat said, in my opinion, if just one of these little birds fall down, I'm going to give them just what they need. I will not have any passion for them. I will not have any, I will not compensate the mother once I have eaten her child. Then the remaining birds will have time to reflect, and maybe they will leave me alone. So you will create your story as such. And we will start with, who wants to volunteer first? I know nobody wants to volunteer, but I'll ask. Who wants to volunteer? As I thought, no one. Okay, Control C. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope I got enough in here now. All right, this will take us up to the top of the hour, so if you don't know what to do, I will not explain to you again, what to do, I'll just go to the next person. And then after I go through everybody, if we have more time and you didn't understand, then I will reflect for you. Tell me who's here. Who is in the forum? Never mind. It'll be easy for me to look back. I know it's going to be easier for me to put the numbers down. As I said, this is 1. And this is 2. If your numbers, if that person isn't in here, that's okay. This is 4. This is 5. 6. Your vocabulary from previous lessons. On the count of 3, I will go to person number 1. Person number 1, look at the picture, read the prompt, give me your word here. It does not need to be eat. I would imagine that everybody would have a different word. On the count of 3, number 1, it would be asthma. When I count to 6, if you haven't started, I will assume that you're not here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 2. Number 2.
Yes.
1. Your time
Here.
has started. You may start. 1, 2,
Okay,
3.
the golden cat was trying to sleep. The 3 little birds want to be eaten.
But that was a but go on.
Want to be eaten. And he's had no opinion about the thoughts of the cat. And they had no animosity of changing his place. And maybe the cat must give some reflection of the birds and have some compassion and not eat the birds. He can imagine a multitude of birds, and maybe his thoughts compensate. And this is my feedback for the cat.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Number 3. Jenna. 1, 2, 3.
I cannot see the word.
Oh, where are you? Okay. In my computer. Okay, there they are. Jenna.
Okay.
Okay, Jenna.
The golden cat was trying to sleep. The 3 little bluebird wants to sleep on golden cat's head. But from model 2,
Wait a minute, the 3 little bluebirds wanted to what?
want to sleep on the golden cat's head. And from model 2 birds' opinion they have in the past, they know sleeping on the golden cat's head is not a good thing to do. So what they want, so they asking about the golden cat's opinion first. So golden cat, is it possible for us to sleep on your head? And the golden cat has a lot of the information running in his head, and he was telling them, yeah, sure, why not? I had a lot of passion for the birds. Go ahead, sleep on my head. And when they hear it, they hesitate a little bit. This is not true because I always hear the cats feel animosity toward birds. Why this cat are so gentle, and it doesn't sound like the feedback I heard from other people. And while they wait, the golden cat can see they hesitated. And the golden cat was thinking, maybe if I can lure one of them down, and maybe 2 others will try to join the first one. So the golden cat tried to be nice to one of them, and from the reflection. I tried to be nice with one of the bluebird, and the bluebird right away she felt attached to the cat, and and but however after a while two other birds doesn't really move, so the golden cat eat the only bird and letting two other compensate the feeling of losing their friend.
Okay. I forgot to look at the clock, but that's fine. Okay. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we got the conversation. Okay, number 4 is going to be, who is 4? Number 4 is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 5, 1,
Okay.
2. Who is 5?
Ramon.
Raymond. Okay, Raymond.
Okay.
Okay.
The golden cat was trying to sleep. The three little birds wanted to sing aloud because they have a great passion about it. In fact, they are able to sing a multitude of songs. However, the cat has a huge animosity to listen to them at this very moment. The cat thought it has to compensate them, but in my opinion, it has just to give a little feedback as a reflection of a good relationship.
If they're still there, you need to use them again. If the words are still there, you need to keep talking until I remove them.
Okay. Would you like me to repeat?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
have
If the
written.
words are still there, yes.
Okay. Let me read it. The cat thought it has to compensate them. And in my opinion, the cat's animosity is a reflection of his fault of passion about music.
Okay. Thank you. And number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You all did a great.
There is just 3, right?
Yeah. Well, we're done. Yeah. That's everybody's gone. So, well, not everyone has gone, but we have just finished. I want to tell you all that you all did a great job with this activity. Thank you very much for that. Again, what I do is try to push, and encourage you to give me more than what you believe is within you. I know that if you're coming to me regularly, you're getting a lot, becoming overwhelmed. If you haven't been coming to me a lot, you may feel like, I don't know what she's doing, and you may feel overwhelmed. But it will all come together. It's just like a small child, that every day the child is bombarded with some new experience, and they want to take it all in. They don't want to go to sleep because they feel that they'll miss something, but in spite of that, they need their rest. But this is what feedback does. If you value the feedback, you want to keep taking more and more and more, and trying to meet the challenge of, if the coach says I can do it, then I believe I can do it. I'm giving you lots of vocabulary. The vocabulary is going to be the food of the champion when you know how to use this vocabulary. It is not necessary that you use it correctly, but it is important that you are aware that you're getting a repertoire of vocabulary, and as soon as you can and as often as you can, try to use the vocabulary, not just in my class, but in any class that you're in any conversation that you're involved in. Please, please, please try to use what you're learning. All right, let's have the final words for today. Fred Souza, final words. What are your thoughts about today's lesson?
That was very good. That was my first lesson in Barbelin. I really enjoyed.
Okay, well, welcome. We're happy to have you.
Okay, thank you.
Jenna, final words.
I really like I really like how you have the article at the beginning, and then later having the picture and helping us to create a story. And I used the picture before, and I had a different story last
Oh, okay.
class. And then when
Okay.
I have that, I have a hard time to think about the second story to using the same picture. But I'm glad that you have something. You have the example at first, and then I can use the example and try to come up with
Mm-hmm.
another story. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's really good. I really like
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
And what you'll find with that, Jenna, what my thinking is along with that is that when you go into other venues, something more specific, maybe something that is literature based, scientific based, historic based, there's still that theme of how do I take what I know about something simple and
Mhm.
apply it to something that is difficult. So the genre is going to be different if you're talking about some historical event. But if you can't visualize this historical event, this war, these people, this mistreatment, if you can't see these pictures with the vocabulary, the word is there, but it becomes meaningless and difficult to understand. But once you teach your mind, your brain, how to interpret images into words and transfer words into pictures, you can almost read anything. I'm not saying it's going to be as quick to read as this, but you've got a strategy that you can use. Thank you, Jenna, for those final words. And Raymond, final words?
So, uh, I really like your class. In fact, it's my first class with you. I already have other classes here in Burbling from Spanish and English, and I guess I learned many new vocab, and I accomplished with the feedback because it's important. Otherwise, we can learn on the wrong way and the
Mm-hmm.
wrong pronunciations. And like me, I pronounced some wrong words.
Mm-hmm.
And other point I can say it was interesting for me. I can say when you said my speeds of speaking,
Mm-hmm.
it's too fast. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have to slow down sometime because I I used to speak so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not so good because it's pretty hard to understand. And
Mm-hmm.
when I do that, it's easier for me to have mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for your
Okay.
feedback.
Oh, you're more than welcome. The feedback was my pleasure. Thank you, guys. I hope to see you all at my next session tomorrow. I will be on again in about 3 hours. Take
Mhm.
care and have a nice night. Bye for now.
You too. Bye bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Jenna. I was just reading the last post. Okay, Fred. Have a nice night. Bye.
Bye.